we come to that point in our order of worship where we come before God to lift up our joys, our concerns, our thanksgivings. As we come together in prayer this morning, there are a few things we need to keep in our prayers. We need to keep Paula Barton and her family in our prayer at the time of her nephew, Anthony Lobiondo's death. He died suddenly this weekend, and we need to keep Paula and her family in our prayers at this time. Also, let's continue to keep Debbie's grandmother in our prayers, Josephine Mayeri, as she continues to sort of vacillate, I guess. No, there's no vacillating now. It's just a sort of a matter of waiting now. So let's keep that family in our prayers. What else do we need to lift up? You come.
Hi, I'm Jerry Marks, and Don Scott, 36 years ago, married Diane Hendrick and me in this church on August 4th. It's a great joy to be here today with my two daughters and their families, 5 grandchildren, and we've got one son-in-law here. The other one's in Chicago, and we're here to visit Bill, Jean, and Becky Hendrick.
All right. Glad you could make it in. What else?
I do
Jean?
want to say when Diane and Jerry were married, it was the first day that they turned the air conditioning on. And we were so happy because it had been so hot. And everybody was happy that happened that way.
What was that date so I can put that in the annals? Got behind me?
One of my friends up at the college, his name is Bubba Berg. He plays tuba with me in the marching band. He told me the other day that his father has colon cancer, and they moved it back to stage 4 because it moved to his lymph nodes. So just be praying for that whole family and keep them all in your prayers. Thank you.
His name is David Burke.
David Burke. Okay, Bill? Go ahead.
He mentioned that Don married him and one of the girls over there next door of mine. Well, Don left here in June, but he stayed on an extra few days so he could marry my son to his ex-wife. Now, Don, that one didn't take. I'm sorry. Anyway, we were glad. Is that a joy or concern?
Aren't you glad, Don? Aren't you glad? What else do we need to lift up? Debbie? David's gone the way.
Right now, and so he's really trying to look for a job, and with 5 children, it's kind of imperative.
You said they were all boys. There's only 4 boys and 1 girl, right?
No, oh yes. I thought I said 5 children. Yes, for Olivia.
I'm going.
You know, if we have 4 boys and they have 4 boys, and
it gets confusing sometimes.
They have 5 children, but if you could please keep them in your prayers because he really needs a job. I mean, he had 5 children.
Okay. Keep Jeff in the prayers. What else? Up this way, David. Dottie?
Our daughter Carol and her husband Mark were also married by Don, but they need our prayers now because both of them are laid up with problems with their legs and feet. They've had accidents.
Okay.
I'm happy to see all that are here today, and I believe, looking around me, we have the amen corner on this side.
I expect to hear some amens now. What else we need to lift up? Well, let's go before the Lord in prayer. Most gracious God, we come into this place. Some of us have come back home, so to speak, for a visit to remember and to rejoice at days past when Don and Peg were here and for the ministry they did. And we just celebrate the lives that they touched in those years that they were here, for the counsel that was given, for the joy and laughter that was shared, for the ministry that was there in those times of grief and loss, as well as those times of joy. We just thank you that you have blessed us, that as Methodists we especially can have that ongoing sort of heritage from pastor to pastor, that we can remember and celebrate what those important milestones in our life may be or may have been. But we are especially thankful for the men and the women that have stood behind this pulpit. It's been here since the late 1890s. There have been a lot of messages delivered. There have been a lot of lives that have been touched. There's been a lot of souls that have been saved because of the message that has been given and the response on behalf of those that have put their trust in Jesus. And for that, we are especially grateful. We remember those days past, but we also anticipate those days that are yet to come, knowing that you are not done with us, knowing that this church is still a beacon of hope and light and God's love in our community, and that we still have an opportunity to reach out and to share the good news of Jesus Christ. There are still souls that will be saved. There are still memories that will be made. There are still ministries that we have yet to see, and we are so grateful that we can anticipate and look forward to those, because we know that your Spirit is with us in this place, and that you have touched us in a great and mighty way, and that you have called us to be your people. And so, most gracious God, we come before you this morning, lifting up these joys, lifting up these concerns, and putting them at your throne of grace, asking that you would pour your Spirit out upon these situations, that you would bring healing, that you would bring guidance, that you would bring comfort and love and joy and peace. Whatever is needed, Lord, pour these things out. And if you need us, then nudge us, push us towards where we need to be, to say the things we need to say, to do the things we need to do as we seek to be your people in this place for years to come. We ask all these things in the name of Christ, who has taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.